mynews.studio.
A U.S. power grid that was once largely run on coal is now looking at a future where almost every new watt comes from solar, wind, or batteries. Could this be the year we really stop expanding fossil fuels?
Just to set the stage, today is February 14th, 2026. The headline is pretty striking. Over 99% of new U.S. power capacity this year is expected to come from renewables, mostly solar, wind, and batteries. That's close to 70,000 megawatts. What's behind this rapid pace?
The biggest factor is policy. The Inflation Reduction Act from 2022, for example, introduced major tax credits, like the investment tax credit and production tax credit. These cover more than 70% of the cost for many projects, which really changed the game for investors.
But it's not only federal policy, right? State-level incentives and corporate demand, especially from big tech, are also pushing utilities to commit to renewables.
Exactly. And what stands out is how fossil fuel expansion has nearly come to a halt. Natural gas will add less than 4,000 megawatts this year. Coal is actually shrinking. There's no new nuclear planned. Solar leads all new generation and has held that position for over 2 years now.
Let's look at the numbers for a second. By the end of this year, U.S. solar capacity will reach 247 gigawatts. That's more than coal and twice as much as nuclear. And if we include new batteries, 21.5 gigawatts just in 2026, the grid can now handle the daily swings of solar much better.
Right. And that's why utilities are pairing batteries with solar. It helps balance out the ups and downs. Texas is a good case. They're adding so much solar and battery storage that they can retire coal plants and still keep the grid steady.
A lot of people still worry about reliability, though. The argument is that renewables can't always keep the lights on. How are grid operators addressing that?
Grid operators are planning for more battery storage and getting better at managing demand. Batteries now make up the second largest share of new capacity, right after solar. The technology allows them to store extra solar energy during the day and feed it back into the grid at night.
And this is all happening even with political pushback. The shift seems to have a momentum that's hard to slow down.
That's key. Even with polarization, the economics are straightforward. Renewables are now the cheapest way to add new power. Utilities are following the money, so they keep building.
This isn't just about the U.S., is it? Since the U.S. is the world's second largest greenhouse gas emitter, does this shift send a message globally?
Definitely. It demonstrates that with proper incentives and investments in storage, clean energy is the most practical path. And as the technology scales up, costs come down for everyone.
Can other countries follow the same approach? What could get in the way?
Other countries can use similar incentives and work on scaling up battery storage, but some may have weaker grids, more political barriers, or supply chain issues. So, while the U.S. example is useful, it's not a perfect fit everywhere.
So, to sum up, the U.S. energy grid is changing fast. Solar and batteries are taking over, fossil fuel growth is basically paused, and there are lessons for other countries. Is this the tipping point for clean energy?
It's a major milestone, no doubt. The speed and scale are both unprecedented, and it's likely to encourage other countries to make similar moves.
Today, we covered how nearly all new U.S. power capacity in 2026 is set to be renewable, what's driving the change, how the grid is adapting, and why this matters globally.
Thanks for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. You can try it now for free.